So today we are going to do a fun, simple look. We are going to do a quick, easy, bronzy, fun springtime look. So with the home makeup basics 101, I really want to give you options. And I want to give you room to play, but at the same time, have a little fun. You know what I mean? Like, give you, what's the word I'm looking for? I want to give you room to learn how to do the actual basics, from like a nude eyeshadow look to a bronzy eyeshadow look to a, I don't know, to a look that just, an everyday look. And that's what we're doing today. We are doing an everyday, neutral kind of bronzy look. Okay, that's the best way to put it. So, I'm going to show you 2 ways to prime your eyes. This is literally going to be just eyes. I'm going to throw on lipstick and all of that, but this is going to be just eyes. That's going to be our main focus. So on one side, we will use concealer as a base. Actually, we will use the concealer that comes in here because I feel like that is a great idea. Ew, me. Fuck it. Okay, and then on the other side, we will use an actual eye primer. Now, to start this off, we're gonna do the concealer that comes in this. Today, for this look, we are going to use the Huda Beauty Nude. And there is a concealer in here. It's called Concealed. Funny enough. And we are going to take our concealer brush. And we're going to put this all over our eye. This will also kind of give you room to carve out your brows at the same time. Okay, I feel like we are nice and concealed here. I feel like we have a nice starting base for this look. Now, I usually do not use concealer for eyeshadow, but you know what? There's a first time for everything. Okay, so when it comes to doing a look and I have something like concealer on my lid, to prevent it from creasing, I like to go in with a relatively neutral shade. So on a JH32 from Morphe, we're gonna go into the shade Bare, okay? We're gonna just tap that all over our eye. We're gonna do one eye at a time because to set the eye anyway. Once you get product on, it's not that big of a difference. But getting the initial setting going here, you wanna get it on before your product dries. Okay. We have that set. Now we're going to go in with our Morphe eyelid primer. And this is translucent. I'm just going to put a little bit on the back of my hand here. And for the sake of the video, we will go in with that same flat brush. I already wiped it off. We're good, don't worry. And we're going to do the exact same thing and just place this all over our eye. Now, I will say a little goes a very long way with this. Now we're going to go into Bare and just set our eye. It's kind of like your face. Before you go, after you apply foundation, before you go in with any like powder, bronzers, or blush, you want to set your eye. Well, you want to set your face. You don't want to set your eye, but we want to set our eye before we move on. Okay, I think we are done. So right off the bat, I do feel like my eye picked up more pigment on this side. Just saying. Like I said, I usually don't use concealer. So, all right. The first shade we're going to dip into, and we're using that same brush we've been using, is Play. It's a nice peachy color, and we're just going to pop her in our crease on both sides. Notice I'm going in windshield wiping motions. This is just going to give us we're essentially creating our crease right now. And if you don't know, your crease is, when you look up, it's the fold between your eye socket and your eyelid. So that is your crease. So when you hear someone say we're popping this in the crease, that is where they're putting it. Since we're doing basics, I might as well tell you everything, right? All right, same thing on this eye. Again, windshield wiping motions. And we're just blending that in. And making sure they're even, because we're not using the same primer. Okay, so same brush still. We're gonna go into Secret right here, and we're gonna pop her in our crease as well, literally right on top of Play, and we're just defining the crease right now, because we want to do like a nice bronzy-ish spring eye. We want to do a bronzy-ish look, but we want to keep it more on the neutral side, which is why we are using the Huda Beauty Nude. Okay. Same thing on the other eye. And notice I'm holding my brush, I'm holding it towards the end. That is going to give you a softer touch. When you hold it too far up, you don't have as much control as you think you do. And you don't want, if you dig your brush in your eye, you're eventually going to lose your brushes. You're going to ruin your brushes, and that's not something you want to do, especially when you pay good money for them. So I hold them, you always want to hold them pretty far up, because like this, first of all, your hand is going to cramp, and you have more control. Like I can do one little circular motions, and I can flip between easily. If I have it right here, I don't have as much room as much as I do. Like my hand has to actually move. This is you're just moving your fingers. Okay, same brush, we're gonna go into Teddy. And we're also gonna focus this on the crease, but we're gonna do it lower. Like in windshield wiping motions, we wanna go under Secret and under Play, those shades we laid down before. So it is still technically in your crease, but it's also really on your lid. And again, this is just defining that crease. And then the shade Teddy is going to give us a little bit of that smokiness we're looking for here. And your blend right now does not have to be perfect, because I am gonna go in and blend it out a little bit more with a different shade. I just really want to make sure I have this color laid down beforehand. You want to make sure your eyeshadows essentially melt together. You don't want harsh lines. And by harsh lines, here's what I mean. Right now I have harsh lines. Like, you can see where the shades do not blend together. Okay? That is what we're gonna go through and fix. We're gonna go back into Secret and Play. Tap off the excess, and above where we laid down Teddy, starting at that inner corner, we're gonna windshield wiping motions. And then the further up you get, you can go in circular motions. That's just gonna really help melt all these colors together, which is what we want. We want colors to melt together. So as you see, I am bringing it up towards my brow bone. And you can even feather. Like, start at that inner corner and feather her back. You don't want to feather down though, you want to feather up and out. So notice as I'm feathering, it is going in an angled motion, especially once I get to this outer corner. Now you see we don't have any harsh lines now. They all blend together nicely. So again, Teddy and Play, dust off the excess, and above where we put, not Teddy, Secret and Play, and above where we put Teddy, we're gonna go, because Teddy is pretty low, as she is on our, pretty much on our lid. So we can even feather. I personally prefer circular motions, just personal preference. And while we're on the topic of what I prefer the Morphe eyelid primer over concealer. I feel like the colors are just blending together better on that eye. Okay. They're even. Thought I was going crazy. Okay, so we're gonna take that same brush and we're gonna dip into Raw. This is where that smokiness is gonna come in, and we're gonna tap her on our lid on the outer corner. Just press her, and shouldn't have to be perfect. We're gonna go through and blend her. We're just gonna go in with a different color to blend her and to soften all of those edges. You want things to mesh well. You don't want it to be obvious that there are buku lines and shades on your eye. All right, so we're gonna dust that brush off. We're gonna go into Play. That first shade we went in right here. And then just on the outer corner right here, I'm gonna go in circular motions and then bring it in. To soften it up. I start on the outside because most of that pigment is going to be on the outside. By the time I get to the inside, there's not as much pigment. Just dusting off my brush real quick. because we're done with her. Okay, now we're going to take a pencil brush. This is a Morphe pencil brush. I don't remember if the name is rubbed off on it. We're going to go into play. We're going to look up and we're going to dust our lower lash line. Because this is a nice bright shade, it's not going to add a whole bunch of pigment down there, but it is going to prep for the next shade we're going to lay down. It's also going to help brighten that under eye a little bit because it's like a nice peachy shade. Okay, so I don't want my under eye super, super smoky. So I'm going to go into Teddy. And I'm going to lightly, starting at the inner corner, just buff that along my lower lash line. Sorry, I realized I might have been blocking the camera. Be careful to not poke your eye when you're doing this. That's a no-no. I always start at the outer corner because, again, that is where most of the pigment is going to go. The first place you lay down that brush. And because I don't want my inner corner super dark, I want it more bright than anything. I'm going to go back into play and go under Teddy. Kind of, when they say blow it out, it means bring it down further. You want to do that with a brighter shadow. You don't want to do that with a dark shadow. Okay. Just making sure that we're even. All right, so now we're going to take that flat brush that we used, and this is where the bronzy aspect is going to come in. We're going to go into the shade Charmed. It's very pretty glitter. And we're going to just lightly get her on our lid. Normally when I'm playing with anything shimmery, I will be baking so that I don't have to worry about fallout. And if you're new to makeup and you don't know what fallout is when you're using a pigmented eyeshadow and it falls from your lid to your face. When you are baking or you have a setting powder under your eye, it prevents that from happening. Because when you go to dust off that setting powder, it is going to take any shimmer or shadow that fell with it. Now I'm just making sure they're even. Notice I am lightly bringing it in to those shadows. That's gonna help with the blend we were talking about. I'm gonna take a fluffy brush real quick and just lightly go over my face. Okay, now normally I would apply eyeliner. I feel like it's more pigmented on this side with the glitter. No? No, it's not. Alright. Whatever. Okay, now normally I would apply eyeliner. Because I'm trying to do a simple wearable look, I'm not going to. I am just going to go straight in with some Falsies Lash Lift and start at the root of my eyelashes and back and forth all the way up. And then blink a few times on the wand. gently go up towards my brows. And I just did that. Okay, I'm gonna show you how to fix that. We're gonna do the other eye real quick. Okay, so when you get mascara on your lid, you let it dry and then take a clean spoolie and just gently rub your clean spoolie over it. And there you go, good as new. I'm gonna pop on some liquid lipstick. Okay. So I've popped on some Ofra Long Lasting Liquid Lipstick in the shade Mocha. And that's it, guys. That is the look. It is super easy. This is the kind of eyeshadow look you can wear with pretty much any lipstick. You want a neutral lip with some gloss? Awesome. Just some gloss? Awesome. A bright red look? Awesome. Like, this is a very neutral, bronzy look that you can do with any eyeshadow look. Now, if you really want to do an extra pop, and this is what I always do. I always do this. I love doing this. Take a pencil brush, go into some highlighter, dust off your excess, and pop her in the inner corner of your eye. Literally, and by inner corner, I mean right where your two lids meet in the corner right here. And that's just gonna give you a I'm here, I'm awake kind of look. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you learned a good bit. Make sure you're subscribed, make sure you hit the notification bell, because I do have a lot of videos coming. We are doing a lot of different eye looks because we have already done all of our face makeup. So from here out, it is just different eye looks. All right, guys, I will see you in my next video.